Hello and welcome to Candid Conversations. If you're watching this, it's Black History Month, so sit back and relax as we explore the human condition through a series of questions. I'm your host, Yasmeen Ludy, and today I'm joined by the amazing Na'kia Channey. So thank you for being here today because I know it's senior year. You just want to get in bed and go to sleep. So thank you.
Of course.
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. The weather has been super warm the past few days, so it's just been amazing to just be outside and see people just look really happy. And of course, it's Black History Month, so I'm just really excited to talk about its significance and what it means for me.
Yeah, the weather's nice for us.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
February.
We deserve it. Come
Mother
on now.
Nature knew what she was doing. Okay, so on a serious note, today we're going to be talking about Black History Month. But first, let's hear a little bit on what you're studying and what year you're in.
So I have double majors in international studies and organizational studies here.
Okay, cool. So now to jump into the important, the serious. What's the importance of Black History Month to you?
So I think the importance of Black History Month for me, I think, is that, of course, like as a Black person, like we know that Black history is forever. It's not just a month. It's something that we reflect upon all the time. But what I think about, what is interesting about the month is that it's kind of like a national, even global call to reflect on the significance of Blackness in the past, future, and present, and where has it, what has Blackness, I guess you could even say, like, what has Blackness gone through to lead us to what we are today. And I think it's important to have like this conversation and to like facilitate this thought that of course is often just kind of just left to the responsibility of Black folks, and is really just off sometimes even left just within like Black circles. But now this month is kind of calling like a national discourse to truly have like a deep contemplation of like what is Black history and like what is Blackness and like what does that mean. I also think it's very important that with an honest Black history is that we are reflecting on the colonialist and the white supremacist and the imperialist backgrounds of Black history, and how certain systemic barriers and oppressions that Black folks do face today is a result of exploitation. And I think Black History Month is a call to kind of reflect on that, so that we don't forget, and that we don't continue as a nation, even as a global society, to repeat those same mistakes.
Yeah. So you kind of bring me into my next question. So you say like Black History Month, it's a chance for Black history to be global because it's always left on us to share our history. So leading into my next question, how do you see that on your on our campus? We go to a PWI. So how does Black History Month make it to the University of Michigan, and does it?
I think obviously that Black people are integral to this university, as are, I would say, like as all groups, of course. Like Black people, we are at the core of this university, and this month, of course, is a special opportunity to reflect on like what does Black history mean at the University of Michigan. But we've always been here, and we're always going to be here. I think that the university, but most importantly, the students make active strides so that we are having like careful and intentional discourse around like what is the importance of Black people in society. Of course, on campus, of course, we just had Angela Davis come to campus, which was an amazing opportunity, and I was fortunate enough to actually be selected to meet her and have lunch with her. We also just had Dr. Yusuf Salam come, who is part of the Exonerated Five, and it's just been definitely just being a blessing that the university, which of course has a lot of resources, but it's actually making active strides, thanks to, I'm sure, the labor of Black students on campus, to have like these integral figures of Black history, have like those intimate conversations. But even besides like the official, quote unquote official like university events, we have a lot of student run events that are just to just join in fellowship and just to celebrate Blackness, and not just focus on like the instances of Black trauma, really just to join in community and family around Blackness, and like what does that mean for us. So I think it's just such a wonderful time. Honestly, it just feels like a party. Like every day is a celebration, and it's like I'm just so thankful and so happy to be Black, and it's just so nice to just look at another black person or on campus. Of course, we do this all the time, but like, especially during Black History Month, it's like, we really out here. Like,
Yeah.
we're really out here. And it just feels
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. So I recall watching this interview or reading about it, but some interviewer asked Morgan Freeman, like, "Are you excited for Black History Month?" And he goes, "No, I don't celebrate it. Like, you can't confine my history into just one month. It's all year round." So is there anything about like Black History Month that angers you, or do you kind of feel Morgan Freeman just a little bit on his stance regarding just a month, the shortest month of the year?
So I have a lot of thoughts. I think, first of all, I think there's a misconception that like
Yeah.
that February. First of all, it's a misconception that February was chosen like arbitrarily. We have a lot of really important birthdays and holidays which is why like Black history is in February. Like for example,
Yeah.
like Frederick Douglass's birthday is in February, which is one of like the leading reasons about why February was chosen for Black History Month. But to your question, I think I can understand people's sentiment about why some people would choose not to celebrate Black History Month, and that in a lot of institutions, even like as a student, a lot of schools or a lot of other institutions will just relegate talking about Black history only to February, or they will use Black History Month as a sign that like that Black people that racism doesn't exist anymore, for example, and that like you have a month to talk about your history. Like, what more can you ask for? Like, we're giving you this time for this conversation, this like this spotlight, if you will. So I can understand that sentiment just because some Black people have been told that their history is only important in February. However, for me, I understand. My view on Black History Month is that it is an opportunity it is a call for intentional reflection, in that it is not, as I said earlier, it's not just for Black circles, but it's a call for everyone to reflect on Black history. And I think in that sense, of course, I would believe that Black history is not just relegated to 1 month. Of course, that's just ridiculous. It's also, I would argue, it's just also like objectively not true. But I do think it is important to create like an intentional time for reflection. And just not even just reflection, but also just like active learning, like active truth seeking about like what is Black history. Setting that time aside just to do that deep work.
Yeah. So do you have any traditions for Black History Month?
Do I have any traditions? That's so funny. I think it's interesting that you asked me if I have any traditions for Black History Month.
Because we always have like traditions. Like in January, you got to cook the black eyed peas and have
Right,
greens.
exactly.
And it's
Oh
like,
my
that's
gosh.
January, but what do we have for the 1 month that's dedicated to us? Like, what do we have? Like, what do we do?
Oh my gosh. I think in my family, at least, it's always like a marathon of a lot of Black movies. Of course, like last year I saw Selma with some friends. Always Roots. Always Roots. Always Roots, especially the new one.
You don't watch it in one day.
No, you don't.
You watch it
You don't. There's always Roots. So I think a lot of it does probably revolve around, at least for me and my family, is media. But I think for me, is like, as I'm growing in my identity as a Black person, what does my Blackness mean to me? I'm actually starting to try to center my Black history this year around the history of Black women. And so for me, what that looks like is actually trying to learn about a different Black woman every year, and trying to learn more about like how Black women have contributed to Black history, because some scholars would argue that even Black History Month is still male dominated.
Yeah, definitely.
And the civil rights movement, some people do argue, was in a way patriarchal, and that a lot of the key figures, even though Black women did a lot of the work, a lot of the head figures were Black men, the people that got the spotlight, if you will. Besides Rosa Parks. Everybody knows Rosa Parks, but there's a lot of other Black women behind the scenes that, anyway, I won't get into a rant. But my point is, I'm trying to learn about like, what does it mean for me as a Black woman, not just as a Black person, but what is my Black female, like what is my history as a Black woman? Even besides that, like, what is the history of like maybe like Black trans women, like Afro, Latinx, like Black people, like what is Black history, kind of just like deconstructing even like what I have learned as what is Black history, and like expanding it to see like what else is Black history than what I've been taught.
So what I'm hearing is like a call for like self-reflection, but also like searching for identity. You know, because
Definitely.
you identify as a woman, and not just a woman, you're a black woman in
Exactly.
America at a PWI.
Mhm.
So how does searching for your identity, how does that correlate with like Black History Month? Like, how does Black History Month give you an opportunity not to like look for other women that look like you, but like doing a self-reflection, searching for your own identity?
Yeah. I think the first thing that comes to me is just a time for gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes I just like get emotional and just think about like I'm just so thankful to be where I'm at today. And I think above all things, I think Black History Month for me is just a time to give thanks about the people who have done what needed to be done for me and other people, Black, brown, LGBTQ folks, queer folks, all around to just be like in where we are today.
So, what's your favorite part about Black History Month?
I think my favorite part of Black history, I think, is just everything. Like the
Yeah.
month, I don't know, that's such a weird answer. But I remember, like, I just love it so much. I don't know why,
Yeah.
I just love Black History Month so much. And it's just so
Yeah.
nice to, like, enjoy with my friends. Like, my friends are asking me questions, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just so many fun events. I mean, it's just like it's like every day being your birthday, or like every day being Christmas. It's just
Yeah.
like every day is a celebration and
Yeah.
a reflection. And I think that I just feel so incredibly thankful to
Yeah.
be Black and just to have this month. And I'm sure folks who have other like designated identity like related months also feel the same. It's just
Yeah.
such a great time for me as a Black person to also see like other people enjoying elements of Black history
Yeah.
and like respectfully enjoy like what is enjoying elements of Blackness. But I think it's just such a great time to be Black.
Yeah.
And I'm just, very happy to also be celebrating Black History Month at the University of Michigan, where there are amazing opportunities to engage in leading thought leaders in Black studies.
Yeah. I know Disney is probably going to bring out The Color of Fear. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That one good Disney original.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Na'Kia. Tune in for next week's episode where Na'Kia will be providing some of the questions for our next guest. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or email ccwolftv@gmail.com. Well, that's been a very candid conversation. And until the next convo.